Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class. I wanted to start by reading something before we get going, and then we're going to lay down. And when you lay down, you're going to want just a low blanket pillow under your head. And then you're going to want a block that you can easily get to that's going to kind of go between your legs when we lay down. Um, and I'll explain all that when we get there. But this morning I was reading an article by Charlotte Bell, who is a amazing yoga teacher. I love her writing, and she was talking about something that we do talk about in yoga a lot, and that is kind of honoring your particular body, never going into pain in your yoga practice. Um, and I loved what she said. She had a student ask her, "What should I be feeling right now in a particular pose?" And she said, and this is what she said, and it just so resonated with me that I wanted to share it. She said, so the student asked her, and she responded, "What are you feeling?" And then a suggestion: tune in and note what you are feeling momentarily. Of course, if there is pain, back off, but settle into the felt sense in your body. What you are feeling is your body's honest response to the asana you're practicing. Your experience in your body at this moment is the yoga. And I just, right? Because I don't know what you're feeling. No one knows what you're feeling except you. And when we tap into the experience of what our bodies are telling us, I love this, your body's honest response to the posture, to the movement, to the breath, um, you're doing yoga. So yes, exactly. So, so with that, we're going to be on the ground or on the mat for a while, and I love to get moving. And Mia, who's watching, is teaching me to kind of slow things down every once in a while. Not my nature, but we're going to slow it down just a little bit this morning for the first start of class, so that we can move into what the body is telling us in a really important area of our bodies, which is our hips. All right, so with that, um, lay down on your mat so that you have some cushion under your head, and please don't make it a big one. So no big fluffy pillows or anything. And then the block is going to go at the second width between your legs, somewhere between your knees and your groin. And you'll know where it feels best. But for me, it's closer to the knees because I want to feel that block between my legs. And we're going to use that block several times this morning. So once you've got that block between your legs and you can feel it, you can let those legs go. You can let them relax a little bit. If they tend to roll out, let them roll out. And place both hands on your hip bones, the front hip bones, the as-its bones, and just kind of level out your pelvis. So a small space behind your lower back. If you feel the hips, they feel like they're pretty much in a line straight across, one not higher than the other, and just kind of get a sense of that. And depending on your body, and as Charlotte Bell says in her quote, maybe leveling out the hips feels really weird to you because you have a lifetime of movement patterns and holdings and battle scars that maybe cause one hip to naturally go higher. So I want you to move into that felt sense in your body and go, okay, so the hip line is level, but it feels and it feels like this in my body. And can I sit with that and then relax the legs? And then find your torso in the center line. Let the shoulders drop back. If your hands are still on your hips, you can let those go. And feel your breath. And notice how the inhale tends to move the body away from the mat. And the exhale draws our bodies closer to the mat. Good. Maybe you close the eyes here. Good. A couple more breaths right here. One more very focused breath. And exhaling, letting it go. And then start to energize the legs by giving that block just a little bit of hug and letting all your toes point up toward the ceiling and squeeze the block. And then start to move that squeeze of the block up to the hips, up to the glutes, all the way into the glutes. Maybe press the shoulders down to the ground, maybe press the hands down into the ground. So everything is energized here except probably the head, neck, and then just let that go and release. Good. Just one more here. Drop the palms face down, press the backs of the arms into the floor, squeeze the block, feel that energy move all the way up through the glutes. Notice the lower back, right? Notice if you have any discomfort there, and then soften and let that go. And then ground the right leg. So right foot toes are pointing up. The right leg is pressing into the ground. Bring the left knee to chest. Don't worry about the block, but leave it where it is. Draw your left knee to your chest. Take the hands behind your knee and inhale and raise that leg up toward the ceiling. And exhale, let it go. Good. Inhale, press it up on purpose as if you were going to step that heel up to the ceiling. See if you can straighten the leg any amount and let it go. Good. And take it up. Hold it there. The fingers are wrapped around behind the knee. Press your leg into your hands and resist as if you were going to lower that leg if your hands would just let go. And then release that and see if the leg will come any closer toward your chest. Try to keep a straight-ish leg here. And then one more time, the arms go straight, the leg presses into your hands. You're trying to push that leg away and bring it up. And then bend the knee to chest and let that leg go. Hug your block. Engage the left leg. Toes are pointing straight up. The foot is flexed. Bring the right knee to your chest. Ah. Good. Breathe, everybody. I want you to continue to move into how your body's feeling. Even if you're feeling restless, even if you're like, come on, Mary, let's go, let's move. That is also a legitimate feeling. So hands are behind your knee. Begin to straighten that leg up. Tight, tight, right? Good. And then bend the knee and release. Maybe you notice which side is tighter. Take the leg straight, reach through the back of the knee, flex the foot as if you were going to stomp that heel onto the ceiling and release. Good. Last one here. Reach the leg up. Hold it here. Push that leg away from you. The arms are straight. I've got some fairly good energy going here as I try to pull that leg out of my hands and then release it and see if it'll come up a little bit higher. Good. Last one. Reach that leg away, press through those hands, breathe, release, bring it closer. And then bend the knee to chest. Let that leg go, hug your block, squeeze everything to center. Every muscle that you can squeeze and let go. Bring the left knee to your chest. You're holding on to the left knee with your left hand and take the left knee out to the side. And then draw the left knee up to your chest like you're doing a little half circle. Grab it with your right hand and bring it across, but don't stay in your twist. Imagine this knee is like a little metronome. You're bringing it out to the side, and then you're bringing it up and across and stretching into a nice twist. Good. Bring it up again. Bring it out to the side. Listen up. You're going to bring that knee to your chest, and then you're going to step that foot on your block. Once you do that, draw the right knee or the right leg back into the block, and then let the left knee go out to the side. So I want you to imagine tree pose. Your right leg is energized. Your right foot is really flexed as if you were stepping on the floor. Your hips are even, right? Relatively even. Your left knee out to the side, and you're just gonna check it out. How is this feeling in my body, and where do I feel this? I was playing with this pose. My right side, left side have always been a bit different. And when I was working with this earlier, my left side felt really jammed up in the SI joint. And so I just started playing with this idea of movement and muscles and release. And when we talk about hip openers, which I don't use that word easily, what does that mean in our bodies? Can I pause here and feel this gentle, sweet opening supported by the floor, by the block? Good. When you're ready, take the left knee up, bring it back to your chest. Straighten that leg down to the floor, squeeze your block, squeeze your hips, squeeze your glutes. Release that. Bring your right knee to your chest. Hold on to it with your right hand. Take that right knee out to the side. And then draw it up in a big half circle toward the chest. Grab it with your left hand. Good. Inhale, knee to center. Exhale it out to the side. And bring it in. And across. And last one, slowly bring it in. And bring it out to the side. Bring it back to your chest. Place that foot on your block. Snug your left leg up against the block, and then turn your right knee out to the side. Same thing, right? Other side. How does this side feel? Is there more freedom or less freedom? Is there discomfort or ease? Is it just okay? Take a nice deep breath. Allow your body to find its balance here in this pose. Think about tree pose. If you were standing in tree pose, what would your body be doing, right? Where would it be in space? Where are your ribs, your shoulders, the crown of the head? One more deep breath. And then draw that knee up, bring it back to your chest. Bring your left knee to your chest. Put both feet on your block, which I know is going to be kind of tricky, and then turn both knees out. Both feet are on your block at the pinky edge, Baddha Konasana. And once again, where are the hips? How does the lower back feel? What happens if you tuck your pelvis? If you tuck, really tuck and flatten your back to the floor, And then what happens if you just let that go? And notice that when you tuck, right, the knees can't help but come up, the inner thighs get pretty active. And when you let go, everything softens down a little bit. Do one more of those. Big, strong tuck of the belly, flatten the back to the floor, and then release that and just let the knees float where they will for you. And just breathe. Good. Draw both knees to center. Nice job, everybody. Step on either side of your block. Hold on to that block with your feet. Draw both knees to chest and take both legs up to the ceiling. Now, low back folks, you might want to stick a thumb under each side of your sacrum just to help with your lower back support. Flex the feet and then point them. And flex and point. Good. One more. Flex and point, and then flex your feet. Take both arms overhead. I have my elbows bent. I'm just resting fingertips on top of fingertips as if I were lounging on a chair. And then lower the feet maybe a quarter of the way down. Again, if you would rather have hands under sacrum, please do that. Find your breath. Bend both knees, bring those knees to chest, hang on to that block, straighten the legs up to the ceiling. Take the legs part way down, don't go into your lower back. Bend the knees to chest. Woo, take them up to the ceiling. Lower them part way, come on. Bend the knees to chest, a little more of a Mary class. Take them up to the ceiling. We've got two left. Take them down a little bit. See if you can pause. Bring your knees to chest. Take them straight up. Last one. Slowly lower, not real far. Keep your backs as neutral as possible. Bend your knees to your chest. Listen up. Just grab your block from between your feet. Set that block aside and put both feet on the floor. Straighten your right leg and take the left leg into that tree pose again, right? No block. So it's gonna feel really different, I think. At least it does for me. There I am telling you, it should feel really different. But just notice what happened when we took the foot off the block. Again, right, in real tree pose, your foot would be higher up on the leg and it would be more centered with that inner leg. But just stay with this for a moment and see how it feels to you. So if it's your left leg out, I want you to take your right arm out to the side. As you inhale, bring the left knee up. You're coming into a twist. I want you to roll all the way to your right side. Your right arm is out to the side. I have my knee on the floor, my left knee on the floor. If your knee doesn't get anywhere close, just stick your block underneath it. And then take the left arm out to the left. So we are in a twist. Find your breath. And then just 3 times, nice circles, take the left arm. Bring it down along your hip. Thank you, Mia. Take it up and over your head. Stretch, open the chest as you circle. So this is a variation of clock pose. I do clock pose a bit. Good. One more big circle. But Mia showed me this one yesterday and I like it. So I'm borrowing it. Good. Take both arms out to the side. Nice, beautiful twist. Take your left knee back up. Release both sides and just straighten the legs. Whew. And check out the hips. Check out what's happening here as we just move through the pose. So left leg will stay down, the right knee bends, the right knee goes out to the side, tree pose. Here we are again, different side. What's the difference in your body? Is there more ease or less? Does it just feel good? This is my quote unquote normal side. I could sleep like this, I could lay like this all day long. It feels really good. The left side is a little more challenging for me. There's some kind of a kink in there that feels better when I do what we just did. So feel that good energy to the left leg. It doesn't have to be overly. And then draw the right knee up. Allow it to come across the body. Physically turn on to your left side. The left arm is out to the side. Your knee can come to the floor or not. You can always put a block there. And then take the right arm out to the side. That just feels so sweet. Good. And then take that arm down across your hip. Bring it up toward the overhead. Open it up. Maybe you find a couple tight spots in that chest and roll and open. Good. One more big circle with that right arm. Let it follow your body and then follow the floor. And then once you're done with that, the arms are out. Nice open twist. And take the knee back to center. Take your body back to center. Straighten both legs. We're almost done with this. Bend both knees. Take the left leg up to the ceiling. Turn that leg externally and come to figure four. Now, I want to give you a couple of options here. One, come into your traditional figure four, which means either your foot is on the floor or anywhere lifted. Keep a small space behind the lower back and then just rock side to side. So that's option number one. Option number two is to take your hands and hold your left leg in that position. And then either your right foot is on the floor or the right leg is straight. And then rock the leg side to side. And once again, I want you to be a little bit organic about this. Where do you feel the hip joint, right? The muscles that come into it. Where is your particular stretch? Because not everybody gets a stretch in a traditional figure four. And maybe the stretch, right? The quote unquote stretch isn't really what we're looking for. Maybe we're looking for fluidity or mobility or hydration in the joint. Oh, all right. Good. Release that side. Take the left foot back to the floor. Take the right foot up. Turn that foot out to the side. Come into the start of a regular figure four. And then decide for you, once you bring those knees up, do you want to grab that leg with your two hands and play there? Do you want to keep it a little more supported on the knee and play there? Good. Deep breath. And so much depends, right? We know yogis who are super flexible. We know yogis who are tight. Most of us are somewhere in the middle. And so if our bodies are unique, then can our approach be a little unique, right? Maybe you're smiling. Breathe. And then come back to your center, both feet to the floor, listen up. Take that, whatever you have behind your head, take that out, set that aside. Both feet are planted, the shoulders to the floor, the upper arms to the floor, fingertips to the ceiling. So it's these robot arms, we call them robot arms. Lengthen your tailbone, press your hips up. And once you're, so we're bridge pose, right? We're in bridge pose. Once you're in bridge pose, feel your hips again. I've got my hands on those hip bones again. I want to see where they are in space. I want to maybe do a few little figure eights or shifts, maybe lift one hip bone and then the other hip bone, and find your center. Once you're there, lengthen your tailbone, press into your feet. Press the upper arms toward the floor and drag the heels back isometrically. So it's an interesting, I think, an interesting thing here that you're not only lengthening the tailbone, so the tailbone's heading toward the heels, but the heels are heading up toward the groin. So you've got this little contest going on, and the hamstrings are in the middle of that for the most part, right? They're the ones contracting as we lengthen the back and draw the heels in and fire up our cute little glutes, and everybody let go. Both knees to chest. Roll the knees to one side. Come on up. Woohoo! And just check it out. Maybe cross the legs, maybe straighten the legs. Once you come into your normal cross-legged whatever, cross the other way. If your knees are really high up, maybe you sit up on a blanket or a block, or maybe you put a block under one or both knees. And then take your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them back and down. Good. Take them up and back down. Last one. Take them up and back down. Both arms up. Exhale. I'm going to mirror here. Left hand down, right arm up. Good. Inhale. Take both arms up. Hold the beach ball. Exhale, other side. Inhale. There is not actually a beach ball there, just in case you're watching this for the first time. And come on over. And take them up. Hold that imaginary beach ball. Exhale. Inhale, center, listen up. You're going to take your left hand back down. You're going to take the right hand behind your head. Press the elbow back and then press the head back. And breathe. Maybe you take like that elbow as a pointer and point it back some. Just watch the back here. Breathe. Maybe you dip in a little deeper. Maybe not. Release that arm stretch. Inhale all the way up. Hold the beach ball. Hold the beach ball. Take it down the other side. I think I have gotten sillier as I've gotten older. I think that is a really good thing because the other way could have been much worse, right? Take that hand behind your head. Press the head back. Press the elbow back. Maybe you stay here. Big chest opener here. Looking straight ahead. Breathe, and then maybe the elbow points back behind you a little bit. Just be mindful there. And release, extend out. Take both arms up. Exhale down. Good. Roll it out. And then take the soles of the feet together. So seated Baddha Konasana, right? Butterfly pose, cobbler's pose. And instead of coming all the way up to the groin, right? So often it's taught with the heels as close to the groin as possible. I want you to take those feet out just a little bit. And again, depending on your knees, maybe you've got a block under the knees, or maybe you're sitting up on a block to help the hips. A lot of times when the hips are lower than the knees, it can create a lot of strain in the hip and groin. And if you see, just bringing the hips up can take some of that pressure off. And then place both hands on the knees and push up. Don't push down, push up. And then just let go. And push up. Breathe, a little inner thigh work. And down. And push up. Breathe. And down. One more here. Just push up. It's not 100% push, by the way, right? Be gentle with your lovely bodies. And release. And then just flutter. Just flutter. If you are like me and you've taken a zillion gym classes over the years, especially in the 80s, they did a lot of these fluttering. I don't like bouncing in yoga or really anything, honestly. But a little flutter is okay. There you go. And then sit really tall. Close your eyes for a moment. And just thank your hips for all of the work that they do for you, for us, to keep us mobile in the world, walking, running, dancing, carrying things, whatever it is, right? Just let that be a prayer of gratitude. And then open the eyes, take those knees together. Oh, that feels better. And come to table pose, please. Have your blocks where you can reach them, please. We're going to use those in a moment. Your hands are on the floor, the hands are pressed out. And just for a moment, I want you to lift the palms of your hands off the floor and then isometrically try to pull the fingers back. So you're actually making those fingers a little bit longer, and then plant the palms and open the shoulders and see if that helps those wrists a little bit. And by all means, please cushion the knees if you would like. Press your right leg back. Tone the belly in, lift the leg. Hold here. See if you can find some level space in the hips, right? So what is level? You're not sure? Lift the hip up. That's definitely not level. Too low, that's not level. Let's find level and then press into the hands. Reach the left hand out. Very basic balancing table. I didn't say easy, I said basic. Breathe and then take the same left hand, reach it out to the side. Turn that palm up and take it behind your back. Find your breath. That's it. Keep working the right leg, right hip, right glute. Maybe point the toes for some variation. And then take the left arm out. Take it forward again. Drop that palm down, drop the knee down. Press back in the heels just a little bit to give the wrists a little chat, a little break. Come right back up. Open up the shoulders, spread the fingers long, press the left leg back. Lift as you tone through the belly hip to find that balance. And breathe. Fire up the left leg, take the right arm out, everyone. So even though we're working core here, generally speaking, I want your focus to be back here on that glute and on the leg. Big deep breath. That's it. And then take the right arm out. Reach the arm behind your back. Hold here. Stay away from the floor. Keep working that hip, that glute. Big deep breath. Take the right arm out. Bring it forward. Lower it down. Lower your knee. And sit back for a moment. And come on up. I want you to take your blocks, actually just one block, and you're going to place your knee on your right knee on your block. We've done this before, different variations of this. So once you're there, and in case you can't see what in the world I'm doing, let me turn around so you can see the leg that's actually on the block. Once you're there, you can see the hips are skewed. I want you to lift the other knee off the floor. It's almost like you're getting ready to run a race, right? And you've got toes on the floor, you've got one knee on the block, you've got the other knee off the block, but you're going to find level. And then lift the foot and straighten the leg. And bring, so I've got my right knee on the block, I've got my right toes on the block, I've got my left leg extended, bring the left knee to chest, curl it in, and then extend it out. Good. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, extend out. Good. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Two more. And extend, everyone. Good. One more. Extend. And then bring that knee back where the other one is, still hovered, and take it out to the side and see if you can hold. Breathe. Hip work, loves. And release it. Drop that knee to the floor. Drop the other one to the floor. Grab that block between your knees and squeeze. And you can either stay on hands or come up. That block's between the legs. Squeeze it in. Shake out those wrists. Pinky little boogers, right? Breathe. And release. Other side. Now, we are on the hands and knees a bit. You can go to soft fists here. Often that will help. I don't think elbows would work in this case. So left knee is on your block. If this block, by the way, is just not working for you, grab your blanket instead. That's okay, right? What I'm looking for is some height and some stability. So I got my toes on the floor, got this little runner's lunge going, and then I'm going to lift the right knee, lengthen through the tailbone. Find that, and then extend the right leg out. And breathe. Here we go. Exhale, bring the knee in. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Inhale, big breath, everybody. We get that oxygen in. We get energy in. Good. Two more. Squeeze it in. Exhale, lift. Last one. Bring it in. Exhale. Bring the knee back so it matches the other knee. Take that knee out to the side. Hold. Breathe. Lower. Drop the knee to the floor. Grab your block with both knees. Squeeze. Maybe come on up. Shake it out. All right, so we're almost done with this. I'm going to turn around again because, again, I just want you to be able to see if you need to see. We're going to take the right knee. We're almost done with this. We're going to take that right knee back to the block. We're going to plant the hands, open the shoulders, and lift the other knee just like we did before. Take the foot off the floor. These are called hip hikers. That left side, you're going to lift and lower. Now, I'm not moving the knee out to the side. I'm moving the hip. Here's two things. One, the knee that's lifting or the hip that's lifting. Two, the knee that's on the floor, that hip has to squeeze in like tree pose in order for you to lift the left knee. So the next time that left knee is lifted, the left hip is lifted, hold, and check out the right hip. Woo-hoo. Gotta love it. And lower that knee down. Squeeze your block. Breathe. Last one, last side. Here we go. The block goes under your left knee. Everything is working. The belly is toned in. The spine is neutral. Your right knee is floating. Here we go. Lift up and down toward the floor. And up and down. Squeeze it up. Down. Think about the left hip. Squeeze. Down. This one, hold. Lift that right knee. The hips are askew. This outer hip gotta work. Breathe. Hold, hold, hold. And lower down. Good. Move that block out of the way for now. Plant the hands. Flip your toes under. Let's find downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, everybody. Find your breath. Take your feet wide on your mat. Walk the hands back. All the toes pointing in the same direction. Your fingertips are to the floor. Your knees are bent. Sit way back in your chair, your imaginary chair. And then hands to knees, lift your chest. Come on up to standing and shake it all out. Maybe squeeze the wrists, squeeze the forearms, and shake. All right, so hopefully that felt really nice to you. Maybe you walk a second and feel what's going on in your hips, right? Maybe they feel good, they feel loose. Grab your blocks, take them to the front of your mat. Most of you will not need it. You're going to turn sideways. So you might want to turn sideways, Cindy, with your blocks. And then for me, my toes have to go out a little bit, but I'm going to come back to that thing we talked about at the beginning with Charlotte Bell's quote. When you bend your knees, where are your knees in relation to your feet? Bend your knees and take a look. And does that feel good? Does it feel better if your feet are straighter? So come into your squat and try it. So with this distance, I can really not straighten my feet completely because it just feels bizarre and my knees want to curl in. So I start to walk them out. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good. That's way too far. Where is it for you? Good. Arms up, legs straight. Exhale, elbows down, goddess pose. Inhale. Exhale, slow. Inhale, press. Exhale, slow. All right, 4 countdown. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale up. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release the hands to your thighs. Roll the shoulders. Lengthen the front of the belly and the back of the tailbone. And then this hip crease right here, push, 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 push back. Bring your hands to your blocks, whether they're low, medium, or high, and then straighten the legs. Once the legs are straight, maybe you go a little wider, maybe not. Turn the toes out at a slight angle and bend your left knee. Now here's the trick, everybody. Here's the trick that you may want to play with. If I bend my knee and my hips are forward, 1, I don't really feel much. 2, my knee wants to curl in. If you instead press the hips back, your spine is neutral, so that your knee and your hip more or less line up. See how that feels. And then with these blocks or with your hands, you can walk the hands. I've got my left knee bent, so I'm going to walk my blocks to the left. Breathe. What's happening with the other leg? Ooh. Sit the hips back. Walk your blocks back to center. Straighten both legs. Let's go right to the other side. Bend that knee. Pause. Draw the weight back. So I'm a little heavier in the heels of my feet. Not so heavy that I'll fall over, but a little bit heavier so that the hips are way back. Where do you feel it in your body on this side? See if you can press that right knee out just a little bit, not a lot. Maybe you walk the blocks over to the right. Come back to center. Straighten the legs, heel toe all the way in. Reach the blocks higher as needed for your forward fold. And then snuggle the inner thighs. So the inner thighs, reach them back behind you. Bend your knees. Take your hands to your knees. Lift from the chest, no rounding. Lift the chest up, not, yeah, lift the chest up and come on up and roll your shoulders and shake it out. Take that rounding out of your backs, everybody, right? So when you're coming up, don't do this. You can, but don't. Instead, neutral spine, take it up, lift up. I said to a friend of mine the other day, be proud, get your chest up, be proud, get the shoulders back, chest up, walk tall. You are awesome. You're awesome. Show it. Okay, shake it out. Bring your blocks to the front of your mat, everyone. I am just full of energy today. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands go to your blocks, no higher than medium. They can also go low. Soften the right heel and step back with your right foot. Lower that knee to the floor. If you need cushion, please take cushion. If you're smack on top of your kneecap, see if you can walk that leg back a little bit. And then just a little squeeze of the belly. Now, often we talk about knee to ankle, right? Knee to ankle alignment. Today, if it is okay for your knee, I want you to go past that. That doesn't mean the right side is loosey-goosey. It doesn't mean that your glute is not engaged. It means that we're going past the straight up and down motion of the knee. Why is this important? Notice I'm not bouncing, but our range of motion with our knee is way more than 90 degrees for the most part. If this hurts, back off, please. If it doesn't hurt, perhaps you go a little further. So, right, what's going on? Ankle, knee, hips. Do the hips feel level? Breathe. And then back off. Your hands are on your blocks, just switch. It was interesting because, especially if you're an alignment-based teacher, which I am, we teach alignment, right? Alignment, knee over ankle, knee over ankle. And a friend of mine said to me a little while back, he said, your knees go way more than that. So why don't you practice way more than that? And I'm like, well, it's alignment. Here, we practice mindfully, letting the knee go past that ankle. The right side or my left side is engaged. I'm not letting my left hip drop out of alignment. And then if it feels good, maybe you go a little further. Ankle flexibility, my darlings, super important. Breathe. There should be no pain. Remember that quote this morning, if there is pain, back off. And then come back to neutral. Walk your blocks back. Walk that knee back. I want you to see, now this one we've played with before in all kinds of variations. This time we're going to use the blocks. I just want to see if you can take your knee out and around so that you're cross-kneed. Okay, so what I just did from a forward standpoint is I just moved my knee out of the way and crossed my knee. And then you're going to uncross and bring it back. And you're going to do the other side. And you're going to bring it back. Good. Let's do two more on each side. Bring it across. Bring it back. Bring it across. And back. If you love this, you can do this at home we've done this before, by walking forward, right? With or without blocks. And then you got to go backwards. I love that. I just think that's great fun. And then pause. Take your blocks out of the way. Come to table pose. To downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. Walk your feet 1 footprint forward. 1. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Come to fingertips as much as you need to. Walk your feet 1 foot forward. Woo. Walk your feet 1 foot forward. You should be roughly in a forward fold by now. If you're not, bring your feet forward or your hands back. Bend the knees, hands to knees. Come on up and shake it out. Now, grab one block, maybe be near a wall. We're not going to do this a bunch. I just want you to play, and sometimes this could be a real balance challenge. So I'd rather you have fingertips near a wall just to be safe, okay? All right, so you've got this block, and you're gonna step on it with one foot, your other foot still touching the floor for most of us, right? Unless your foot's just not that big. So if you can, step all the way up. This hip, squeeze it in. Breathe. Hands to hips, the hips are level. See if you can flex the other foot and stay on your block. If this is just a crazy idea for you, you don't want to do it, hand to the wall or come off block completely. Stand taller, stand taller, stand taller, and then step down. That's all we're doing with that. Other foot, I want you to feel stable. So first just stand, your toes are touching, so you've got both points of contact. Hands come to hips, the belly tones in. Think of this standing leg. It has to draw in to support you. Lift and flex the other foot and hold and breathe. That's it. Just feel some calm abiding here. And then toes, step down, release, move your block out of the way. So we alluded to chair pose by doing what we did earlier. Here we're going to bring it back. So I've been saying so a lot. And therefore, this hip, this leg, this is my standing leg for tree pose. If I take this leg out to the side, this hip can't be hanging out over here somewhere and support me in a healthy way. As soon as I lift that foot, I feel my knee, feel a little bit in the hip joint. It's not bad, but it's not stable. But as soon as I do that, whew, now it's stable, right? That's where we want to go. So turn the foot out. Put your hands on the hip bones. Bring the hip bones forward pointing like headlights going straight ahead. Standing leg, bring it in. You should feel that same muscle action happening. I did it again. You should be feeling something here. And then this leg is here, 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 or here. Once you find your balance point, it's super important to find a focus point, right? You don't want to look at things moving in front of you if you can help it. Now make the front body tall. Make the standing leg longer. Lengthen the tailbone down. Your hands can come to your heart, or they can lift up. See if you can press the standing leg into your foot and your foot into your standing leg. Breathe, everyone. Deep breath. Hands to heart. Release that knee and let it go. And just feel that, right? Feel the steadiness that you have incorporated, right? That you have drawn into your body for these things. All right, same thing, other side. Bring the hip in, make that leg longer. Turn that other foot out and just decide, right? Where do I want this foot to go? Are the hips pointing forward? And then take the leg up to your level, to wherever it is for you. A fingertip to the wall. Awesome. Woo, woo. Stay and breathe. Press the leg into the foot into the leg. Hands are at the heart, or maybe they're up and wide, maybe they're together. Where is it for you? Breathe. Notice, right? Tap in, tap out. Hands to heart. And release it. Shake it out. Take your feet just a little wider on your mat and come on down. Nice, easy forward fold. Let the hands be supported somewhere, please. Good. Come on up. Oh. Take your blanket. We're coming into the home stretch here. So you want your blanket, let me see, I don't know if this will be wide enough. No. So take your blanket, everybody, if it's long enough. And Cindy, yours might not be. And then just take it along the side of your mat. Yeah, there you go. And I want you to come on down to your bellies. So do it in a good yogi way, though. Don't just like. So maybe you come down, maybe you walk your hands out, nice little elephant walk, lower your knees to the floor, and then come on down to your belly so that your hips and your upper thighs are touching the blanket. And lower the rest of you down. Now your chin can be up and supported if you want, or your forehead to your hands, ideally so that your neck is neutral. And almost lift your bum off the up, lift it up, and then lengthen it down to press the pubic bone down. Press the right leg into the mat and just lift the left leg high enough to feel the glute hip working again. And breathe. Some of you here can play that lifted knee and bend the knee and straighten it. Pointed toes, the knee staying lifted off the floor. Bend, straighten. Just one more. Bend and straighten and lower that down. Other side, lift the right leg, press through the pubic bone. If you're feeling the SI joints, sacroiliac joints, or the lower back, just don't lift so high. See if that makes a difference. Hold. And then maybe bend and straighten. Bend, straighten. Good. Just one more. Bend and straighten and lower. Want you to flex both feet. Curl your toes under and lift your knees off the floor. If your head is lifted, I've been keeping mine lifted so I can talk without getting muffly. But drop your forehead to your hands. Lift your knees away from the floor. Flex your feet so you should feel the hips get active right away. And then lift both flexed feet off the floor. Hold, breathe. Breathe, hold. You got this, everybody. Point your toes and lower down. Just shake out those hips. Take both hands beside your body, palms face up. Pull the shoulders away from the floor. And then reach those fingertips so that your chest, head, neck all lift off the floor. Lift the legs optionally. Lift the arms optionally. Keep the shoulders from rolling forward. Don't overarch through the back of your neck, by the way. Neutral spine, reach. Arms float out to the side. Superman, Superwoman. Arms reach forward, locust pose. And lower it all down. Whew. Bend the knees, windshield wiper your legs. Take a really deep breath, everyone. This is life. This is yoga. This is life. This is your moment. Lower the legs. Now, I want you to lean over toward your right side, not on, but just toward. And then slide your left knee up, out to the side, level-ish with the hip. Right? So you're here, and that might be enough for you. If you can, you're going to bring your body back down to the floor and let that left knee slide out to the left side more. That's why we have the blanket. So if that is too much for that hip joint, you're going to stay more lifted, okay? More away from it, and it's just a little stretch. If it is okay, that knee is just going to slide out to that side. You're going to roll back onto your belly and let the left hip open up this way. It's called a hip hike or a hitchhiker, a rock climber. And it's interesting. It's different for everybody. Your hips are not going to be flat on the floor. If they are, you've probably dislocated something. So please don't make that happen. Just let gravity take it. Just let gravity take this hip and knee wherever it might go for you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good. One more deep breath in, deep breath out. And then, as if someone were pushing your knee back toward you, squeeze the knee in, the hip's going to raise, and lower that leg back down to the other one. And just pause. Same thing on the other side. I want you to lean toward the left a little bit, just so you can get that knee up and out and to the side. It's kind of almost like a half frog pose. And then either you're going to stay here and just see how that feels in your body, or you're going to slide back onto your belly and let the knee slide out to the right a little bit more. Take a deep breath. Just notice, everyone. Can we find a sense of peace in this pose? Can we feel that sense of equilibrium and equanimity? All right, when you're ready, you're going to lean onto that left side a little. You're going to slide that knee back down. You're going to pause on your belly. Then you're going to roll all the way around onto your back, still on your blanket. Feet are on the floor. Your torso is back to center. You're going to find your breath here. Bring your knees toward your chest. Move to happy baby pose. So there's a bunch of options here. The fuller option is the arms come in between the legs and the feet point up toward the ceiling or the soles of the feet. And you either grab the outside pinky sides of your feet or your big toe mounds. And the shins are fairly parallel with the side walls. The knees are heading down toward your sides. Does not work for everybody. I like a really sweet option is to just grab your shins instead, or to take your elbows or your hands behind your knees. So don't stress in this pose. Try to keep the sacrum down instead of rounded and off the floor. You can rock side to side. You can close your eyes. Maybe there is a sense of playfulness in your pose. And then draw those legs back to center. As you release the pose, draw the knees back to your chest. Oh. Keep the right knee in. Stretch the left leg long. Bring the left leg in. Stretch the right leg long. And then put both feet back on the floor for a moment. Hopefully your blanket is still where it was. I want you to grab one end of your blanket and pull it across your hips as tight as you can. It doesn't matter if your blanket is long or short. Just bring it around and as snug as you can. And then grab the other end of your blanket and snug it all the way across to make yourself a little nice hip papoose, sort of, right? We're going to swaddle ourselves. It doesn't have to be anything, just a little snug. And then once you're there, go ahead and straighten the legs. Let your hands rest on your belly just so you can keep your blanket in place. Let the elbows drop down to the floor and find your Shavasana, everyone. And as the eyes close and the body settles down closer to the floor, maybe we feel a sense of love, of gratitude. Maybe we allow for ourselves to love our bodies exactly the way they are, to love our yoga practice just the way it is, to love each other just the way we are. Soften down even more. Feel your body. Allow your heart the space to grow. Start to wiggle your toes and fingers. When you're ready, bend the knees and let your feet come to the floor. Feel your back and see if you can feel the muscles, the hips settling down, drawing one knee and then the other toward chest. Allow the knees to roll to one side or the other. And then press all the way up to a seated pose. And pause for a moment. If you'll indulge me, I want to read one more thing before we end class. So find a really comfortable position. And this is something I wrote the other day. Love is found in the holding of a hand as it drifts off to sleep, and the flower wedging its way through a sidewalk crack. Love is found in the moments before the last breath, and in the departure of a plane carrying someone precious to you. It is found when all else is lost and you no longer need to fight for acceptance or anything else except what is right here and right now. Love is found in the purposeful washing of dishes or feet, in the dawn before the day and the dusk before the night. It is found in you and me and in the pacifist and the communist. It is found everywhere and in everyone. We just have to pause long enough to see it. So bring your hands to your heart. Bow to that inner well of love that is in all of us. May we see it in everyone else as well. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful, Mary.
Thank you.